What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another very exciting video. In this video, we are going to be diving into SoFi's upcoming earnings. We are going to go over everything that I'm looking for and expecting from SoFi. And then at the end of this video, we're going to dive into a very interesting trend that may show us where SoFi's stock price could be headed after earnings announcement. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. Before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and take a look at their stock chart. We can see here today, the stock was up 2.81% and then another 4.17% after earnings for a total from bottom to top of around an 8% move in a single day. And if we look at the last 5 days, we can actually see that SoFi has ran up even more than 8% from the lows here on Wednesday of around $5.69 to the highs here of around $6.49. We can see that that is over a 14% move up in the stock price. And this large move up in the stock price does not come without reason. According to Zacks Equity Research, on average, SoFi has delivered an earnings surprise of 13.6%. And we can see something interesting going on when we look at analyst expectations around these earnings. So right now, the average estimate is sitting at a loss of 7 cents. I've also seen a number thrown around of a loss of 8 cents. The low estimate is sitting at a loss of 9 cents. And then we have a high estimate at a loss of 2 cents. And the interesting thing about these numbers is the difference between them. When we look at the average estimate, we could see that compared to the low estimate is a 2 cents difference. When we compare the average estimate to the high estimate, there's a 5 cents difference. So basically what investors and what analysts are telling us is that they are expecting earnings to come in with either a match of expectations or a beat of expectations. However, if the stock were to come in and announce earnings that is worse than expectations, let's say minus 10 cents to minus 12 cents, then investors would be caught a little off guard and we could see the stock price fall. For revenue, we have a little bit more stable of a range. We could see that the average estimate is sitting at $441 million. The low estimate is sitting at $428 million, and the high estimate is sitting at $466 million. The crazy thing is the sales growth that is anticipated. That is sitting at 37.1% increase in sales. And year-over-year growth like that is not out of the realm of possibility. This is just last quarter, so their Q4 earnings, they actually announced a total revenue of $456 million. And when we compare that to 2021, where they announced $285 million, that was actually a 60% increase in revenue year over year. So a 40% increase is really not out of the realm of possibility. Perhaps they could actually come in and beat that number, which would be very exciting for the stock. One number that may be even more important than revenue and EPS for a growth company like SoFi is how are their members growing over time. So we could see over the last 5 quarters where their numbers have trended, and they've been trending up consistently, and they've had growth somewhere around 400 to 500,000 each quarter. So what I would anticipate for this next quarter is them to be somewhere around 5.6 to 5.7 million members. And if they are able to beat that 5.7 million member mark, we could see a lot of growth in the stock price as well. Additionally, investors are going to be paying attention to what the guidance is from SoFi on their student loans. Their student loans have been on pause for the past 3 years, and payments are expected to resume very soon. The US Department of Education has said payments would be due again 60 days after the litigation over its student loan forgiveness plan resolves. If the legal issues over the administration's relief are still unfolding by the end of June, or if it's not allowed to move forward with forgiving student debt by then, payments will pick back up at the end of August. And overall, that would be a very good thing for SoFi, as they have student loans out there that they have had for the last 3 years that have not been getting payments against them. And that will be additional revenue coming in for the company that will only help the top and bottom lines. However, these numbers would not come in this quarter. They would have an effect probably in the third quarter of this year. The other issue with these student loans is that investors have not known what to expect from SoFi in terms of their student loans. With all of these things on pause, this has really created a lot of uncertainty around their revenue, around the stock price, and where it could be headed in the future. So with this being resolved, a lot more shareholders will feel a little bit more at ease with where the student loan program at SoFi is headed. SoFi has seen a very interesting trend when it comes to their earnings announcements and how the stock has moved. And this is something they have seen over their lifespan. Back in the day, a few years ago, when they were trading around $15, they would see a spike all the way up to around $20 to $22 in the stock price every time they announced their earnings. And we have seen something similar over the last year. When we look at their chart right now, their most recent quarter, the Q4 earnings for 2022, they announced back in here, and basically the stock was trading around $5.87, and then it spiked all the way up to around $7 $5.72. When we come back here and look at this earnings announcement, we could see that the stock was trading around $6.30 and then spiked all the way up to around $8.23. And then again, something similar in here where the stock was trading around $5.50 and then spiked all the way up to around $7.75. So in my opinion, with the stock trading around $6.23 right now, we could see the stock move up to around $7.50, potentially even up all the way to $8.50 here in the next couple weeks if the earnings announcement is positive. In my opinion, I am expecting some good earnings out of SoFi. I think that they are going to come out and announce some great numbers, especially in terms of their member growth. I think that the banking crisis that we saw earlier in the year could have actually caused a lot of members to gravitate towards a bank like SoFi, where it's online, accessible, and has a very good FIDC insured bank account up to, I think it's either $1 million or $2 million. So I think overall they're going to see a lot of good growth numbers, and I'm anticipating that to have a good effect on the stock. The only question for SoFi is, are they able to sustain some of those stock prices? Because what we tend to always see is they will spike up into and after earnings and then kind of have this fall off after earnings where they'll drop back down. So we really want to see them sustain some of that, investor growth and really build out their investor base into a lot more long-term holders instead of these people who are kind of trading in and out of the stock right now. So hopefully we could see that this earnings report and see them kind of sustain that growth. But overall, you never know what you're going to see when it comes to earnings. So never buy a company just because some random guy on YouTube is talking about it. Make sure you do your own research and find companies that you like for your portfolio, for your time horizon, as I always like to say. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.